Hey guys, it's Terry Porter, your life and leadership coach, and today we're going to talk about the four rules of effective communication. Hey guys, it's Terry Porter, and we are going to talk about effective communication, specifically the four rules of communication. Four rules of communication. All right, so what does that mean? What does it mean to have these four rules of communication? And by the way, these principles, these four rules or keys or skills that we're going to learn today, these are applicable for both our personal relationships, but also professional relationships. But most of my illustrations today will be more in the marriage realm and personal relationship realm. So let's dig into it. If you're taking notes, four simple rules. By the way, I'm not going to reference the Bible much during this lesson, but all four of these rules can be found in the book of Ephesians, chapter 4. So great passage to check out as it relates to these rules. All right. Number one, we got to start out. If we're going to have good communication, we got to have honesty. And honesty just really lays the groundwork. It allows us to build trust, especially when we're honest over an extended period of time. But what are we going to be honest about? Well, quite frankly, we're going to be honest about everything. We're going to be honest to ourselves, first of all, but I'm also going to be honest to the people that I'm speaking to, again, whether that's in a professional setting or in a relationship. Now, I like what Jordan Peterson says in his book, The 12 Rules for Life. And he says, tell the truth or at least don't lie. And so, yeah, there's some times where we don't have to be blatantly honest about things. You've heard the joke, honey, do I look fat in these jeans? Well, just don't lie, you don't have to say everything that's on your mind, but definitely don't lie. And in my marriage coaching, I see this time and time again where a spouse gets themselves in trouble because they lied about something. They might be trying to catch their spouse in something and they're being deceitful about things. And so write down this phrase. Relationship ends where deception begins. The moment we are dishonest, the moment we are being deceptive in anything we're doing, it really severs the relationship. It severs the fellowship between the two individuals. So be honest. First of all, be honest with yourself, and be honest with your spouse or with the people that you're in a relationship with, about what's going on and what your intentions are, for that matter. All right. Number two, we're going to keep current. We're going to solve today's problems today. If you can't solve the problem today, then put it on the schedule, and come back in a week and say, or 24 hours or a month, but and put it on your calendar so that you actually do follow through on keeping current. So let me give you an illustration about this. Several years ago, my wife and I were having a discussion about our will, and we were about ready to go on a trip, and um, what would happen if we died on that trip? The kids weren't going to come with us. Who's going to get custody of our kids? And I had a couple in my mind, and they had a couple. She had a couple in her mind, and we weren't agreeing. In fact, we were very passionate about our views, and we couldn't solve that problem that day. So, what does it mean to keep current? Because we couldn't solve it that day. So, here's what we came up with a plan. The plan was we were both going to research our viewpoints and we're going to ask some friends of ours, trusted friends, what their thoughts were on our spouse's viewpoint. So we're getting feedback on both sets of information. And we also put it on our calendar and we had a little reminder and we scheduled time for one full week. So we would get back together in one full week and we'd have a discussion and we'd see what we came up with. Well, long story short, we did exactly what we said we are going to do. We both learned and we both had a great conversation, and we finally got to a point where we came up with a plan on who was going to be uh, uh, godparents for our kids if heaven forbid we died on a mission trip. So keep current, solve today's problems today. or if you can't solve them, schedule them out. All right. Rule number 3, attack the problem, not the person. Attack the problem or not the person. Here's what I see in professional coaching and marriage coaching. Um, a lot of times we see the problem as maybe a symptom, and we start addressing the symptom, and we're not really getting to the real problem. What I try to do in my coaching is identify what the problem is when the couple comes to me and shares with me the symptoms that they're experiencing in their life. So here's some vague ones, but these can help you understand what I'm talking about as it relates to a symptom versus a problem. All right, here's a symptom. I'm so frustrated because we're poor. Well, poor is actually a symptom of what the real problem is. Lack of control of our spending, overextended in our finances. And so the problem really should be addressed more like this. How can we cut our spending and save more money? That's the problem. Um, the symptom is you're always spending all the money I make. No, that's attacking the person and putting excuses down. Instead, let's identify what the problem is. Here's another one. You never tell me anything. Well, no, that's a symptom. The symptom is you never tell me anything. No, the problem is how can we create an environment of open communication? We have closed communication in our relationship. So how can we create an environment of open communication? Let's solve that problem instead of making accusations about each other. All right. Um, in both of those scenarios, really what we want to do is we want to protect the we. How can we cut down spending? How can we save money? How can we create an environment of open communication? That's what we're really going for. Um, Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he refers to it as this work towards a win-win. And so, if we're going to work for a win-win, we have to identify problems and not accuse people of things. Now, there might be a place for that, but as best as possible, let's attack problems. All right, number 4, act, don't react. Act, don't react. This is the rule of being active, being proactive instead of being passive towards life. If I see issues springing up in a relationship, it's important that I act on them as soon as possible, not take a passive stance and allow life to happen to me. Ephesians 4 tells us this. Um, Do not let any unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only what is profitable for building others up, that it may benefit those who listen. So if I'm going to act, it means I'm going to use my words. I'm going to use my communication in a way that it blesses others and it solves problems. That's how I want to do. I want to be proactive, not reactive. I don't want to use my words in a way that it builds others up and helps the situation. It's that old saying, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But what I can do is use my words in a way that brings life to other people. Now, sometimes we get into these arguments, we get in these situations where it's starting to build up. Hey, take 5 minutes. Say, you know what? I don't like where this conversation's going. Let's take 5 minutes. Let's think, maybe go to different rooms, do some breathing exercises, and then come back and keep working on the situation. One of the things I like to do, sometimes whether it's in my marriage or with my kids sometimes, or even with clients, I just take a break. With my kids or my spouse, sometimes what I do is I say, hey, let's solve this tomorrow. And we're actually going to go out to eat and have a logical conversation. You think about what you want to cover in that conversation. I'll think about what I want to cover. And I am honest. I'm keeping current. I'm attacking the problem. I'm working at identifying the problem. And I'm being proactive in how I solve that problem. Now, for all these things to work, what do we have to do? Well, we have to be for each other. What does that mean? It means It means I want the best for the person I'm in a relationship with, whether it's professionally or personally. I want the best for them. I want to get to a win-win, as Stephen Covey says. So I stop telling myself stories about the other person. Don't we do that sometimes? Um, we feel hurt by the other person, so we start telling ourselves stories in our head. And um, as we start spinning stories in our head about the other person, they're crazy, they're mean, they're vindictive, they're such a whatever. Well, we start telling ourselves stories about that other person. Instead, let's be proactive. And again, don't let any unwholesome word proceed from our mouth. Only what is beneficial for building others up. All right. Number two, learn to attune their emotions. I have what's called here a feelings wheel. If you'd like that, I'd be happy to send that to you. But a feelings wheel is a great way for us to identify what the other person might be feeling and explain why they might be feeling it. So it might look like this. To attune someone's feelings, it might look like this. Addie, I see that you're very stressed because your brother and sister ate your snacks and you're really angry right now. And then I'm quiet. And I just let those words that I shared, those volatile emotions that are just right there that are evident in the person, and I let those words just kind of hang there. In my head, I'm counting to 18 because what's happening is my daughter Addie, she came home from school. She found that her brother and sister ate all the treats that were brought home. And now she's really angry because she didn't get it. So attunement says, I see how you're feeling and I understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. I don't use the words like should or never or always. Instead, I just say, it seems like you're angry or sad because your brother and sister ate your treats. I don't say things like, well, you should be happy because you got treats anyway, or there's other treats for you, or whatever. I just try to attune their emotions and their feelings. That's a little unvague of what I'm talking about. I'd love to share more of that, and please reach out to me. Number three, schedule it till it is a habit. What is it? It is daily communication. Have a 5-minute daily meeting, and you start with, hey, hon, what was your high and what is your low? Do it daily, and then that's like a 5-minute conversation. Do it conversations with the people that you're in a relationship with. Do it weekly. That's more of a 15 to 30-minute conversation. Do it monthly. That'd be like more of an hour conversation. And do it yearly. This would be like a retreat where you and your spouse go and spend a weekend together talking about the goals that you have for your family, for your life. And again, if you don't schedule it, it probably won't get done. So finally, avoid words like always and never. Move past that black and white thinking, all or nothing. Try as best as possible. Don't use you always do this or you never followed through. Well, you start to say those words, walls start to be build up. And I can always remember one time when, I didn't do that or I did follow through on those things. So try not to use always or never. Guys, I hope these 4 rules help you to have clear communication. If you want more help with this, please reach out to me and schedule a session. We can go into more detail around your specific issues in communication with those that you're dealing with, whether it's professionally or personally. You are loved, and thank you for checking out this video.